Hello everybody and welcome back to Liquid Art Studios. My name is Justin and another Wednesday, another model. Today we will be painting Red Sonja from Abe 3D over on Patreon. If you haven't checked out Abe 3D, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, you definitely should. Abe 3D, they do really good, cool model things over on Patreon. Let's finish getting some primer down and we will get on with the painting process. And we will go ahead, as per the usual, and get the process started with a nice zenithal highlight. I have been enjoying using this Kaleido primer for the white zenithal. It's just a lot better than ink, and this stuff sprays awesome. You don't have to thin it. You don't really have to do anything to it at all. You just put it in your airbrush, and it sprays. It does a really good job. And now we will go ahead and start with the dry brushing of the base. We're going to go in with a brown leather. I didn't want to make this a gray, rocky base. I want to make it more like a dirt mound base type base. So we are just dry brushing right now with the leather brown, and we will gradually work our way into some lighter colors, such as this bronzed yellow. It is a bronze yellow color. It's a brown that's got a yellow tint to it. And then we will go ahead and top it off with some bone, which is almost like a deck tan, but not quite a deck tan, a little more yellow of a deck tan. Still pulls off the same general effect, because we're going to go ahead and throw some contrast in right now anyway. Starting with the biotan green to add us a little bit of a mossy grass effect going on. And then finish it off with some Agrax Earthshade, because what better color for Earth than Earthshade? And now we're going to go ahead and paint the boots. I also painted the gloves, but I'm not good at being a YouTube person, so I didn't film that part. But it's the same general process. I used this this leather brown to spray onto the leather boots. It seemed to make sense to me at the time, therefore I did that. And then we are going to take a snake bite leather. You see the pattern here. Take a snake bite leather and go over the leather brown, and that just gives us a nice contrast, a little bit more of a realistic, dark, warmer leather feel. See, look, there's the gloves. I told you I painted them. I would never lie to you. And also, just did a little experimenting with the monster head that's sitting on the base. I went ahead and hit him with some leather brown, and then we're going to dry brush over that with some red. Don't really want to focus too much of an attention onto the monster head that she has impaled. So I'll just dry brush some red, and then I'm going to go ahead and dry brush some brown, because I don't want him to look like just a fully bloodied, severed head. And then we will take some yellow shadow, which is a darker brown yellow color, and then go over that, and then the infamous deck gray, because I use ionic paint, because I want to be complicated and not use Vallejo like everybody else. And we hit his teeth and his little eye sockets there, and then we're going to take some skeleton horde, which I didn't show you, but that's what I'm using. We take some skeleton horde and go ahead and paint over his teeth and his eyeballs. And I think that looks pretty cool. And then we can go ahead and plug him into his rightful place on the base, and we can proceed forward. We're going to go ahead and take a nice silver metallic paint and paint the things that are made out of metal that need to be turned to a silver color, which would be her shoulder pads, her sword, and her mace, I believe is what that is. Now coming back down, we're going to take some Gore brown contrast paint and use it to paint the I guess the rims or the flappy things on her feet. And then I will also use it to go over the laces and the eyelets for said laces on the boots. Also guys, real quick, if you have any suggestions for any models you might like to see me paint on this channel in the future, why don't you just go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think I should do next. For some reason, this color is just like super satisfying to paint with. I really like it. It just goes down smooth, one coat. Love it. And then we can go ahead and put her feet in the rightful place. Don't worry about that piece that looks broken, by the way. We don't need to talk about the key that's broken off potentially in the leg socket. And then we will take some snakebite leather and do the leather wrapping that is on the handle of the mace. I thought it looked like a leather wrapping, so I painted it with a snakebite leather. And then I took a darker silver, or a black metal, and painted the end pieces and the little knobbies. And then take the snakebite leather and finish up that strap. And then also take the snakebite leather and do the handle grip of the actual sword itself. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part, the skin tone. Starting off with a light magenta, because that's what you do. When you're painting skin, you start with a pink. Spray it from the top down, from the highlights. Kind of gives a brighter tone to your highlighted areas. And then on the flip side, we will take a red ink and shoot that for more from blah blah blah, more from the bottom up to hit the recessed shadowy areas to give us some more contrast. And now we're going to go in with a neutral flesh, which is going to be your rosy skin tone for Vallejo. On this model, I'm pretty sure I only used 2 skin tones. I used your darker tone and your, well, technically I guess I used 3. But I used 2 main tones. So you can get a lot done. I mean, if you really wanted to be technical with it and you were careful with your paint placement, you could probably get some relatively decent results literally using 1 skin tone if you do the pink and red underneath. So right now we're just making sure to get coverage everywhere we want to get the coverage using this base neutral flesh tone. And then at this point, I went ahead and came in with a highlight skin and, well, added some highlights to the skin. And at that point we were pretty desaturated, so I used about 2 drops of yellow ink in a whole cup full of water and went ahead and sprayed her down with some yellow. And then now we're going to come in with the DIY Orcish Dermis, which I don't know if that stuff is just like illegal in the United States, but I can't find it anywhere. But you just take some nomad flesh, put a couple drops of red ink, boom, you got Orcish Dermis. Want to spray that into the bendy parts, It adds a good separation, like a, I don't know, like a warm area. I don't know how to explain what it does. It just does magical things. And then we're going to come back in with this silver and start painting the silver accents that are on her body. And then take the Sigor brown and go over the straps that are on her body. We started out with a snakebite leather, but I didn't like that. We just grabbed the old trusty Sigor. And I do apologize for the amount of this model that I actually painted off camera. The body was big, so it was hard. And then I took some silver and went back in and made sure to screw up the skin tone so I could come back and fix it later. And then we take a cold black and paint her undergarments, her armored swimsuit, basically, is all this is. And then we will go ahead and paint the bottom portion of her underbridges. And then we're going to take some silver and go ahead and dry brush that over the scaly parts of the loincloth, I guess you would call it, and the bra parts, because these got metal scales on them, and the easiest way to do that is to dry brush them. And now we can go ahead and place the body onto the boots. And then we'll go ahead and put her shoulder pad armor pieces on. And I've already attached her hand and sword over there, as you can see. And then we can go ahead and throw her mace on. And now for the cool part of the painting process. If you take a Flesh Terror's Red, which is great for gore, just get a brush loaded up with that stuff and just hit it. Hit it with your airbrush just there, and it just leaves nice little splatters. It almost looks like a gunshot, but if you do enough of them together, it looks pretty cool. I mean, look at that on her leg. That looks absolutely gross in the best kind of way. And then I'm going to take that and just slather it into the giant gaping wound on his head. And now, my personal least favorite part is the facial. It's so stressful to paint faces and eyes because you only get one shot. And if you ruin it, you ruin it. So we start by blacking out everything, including the eyelashes and the bottom part of the eye. I guess it would be like an eyeliner. And then I took some Sigor brown and painted in her eyebrows. And now we're going to take a Caribor crimson and put that over her lips. then we're going to take this bubble white, which is a little bit of an off-white, a bluish tinted white, because you don't want to use pure white because it's going to look weird, and filled in the whites of her eyes, the sclera. Now we'll take a black forest, which is a darker green, and go ahead and do the bigger part of the iris. And we'll take this nymph green, which is a obviously lighter green, and do the innermost portion of the iris. And then we do 2 little black dots for the pupils. Now for her hair is not just like a straight unnatural red. So what I did was I took about a 70-30 of the leather brown and this red, and just kind of experimented, and I got this color. It's pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty good color. And then we also want to go ahead and add some highlights into the hair. So I took this bronzed yellow and used that for highlights over the hair, and I thought that it added a really nice contrast. And that will conclude this week's model, Red Sonja from Abe 3D. We can plug the head on, and we are finished. This is Red Sonja. Well, everybody, if you have stuck around at this point to the end of the video, I do want to go ahead and extend my greatest of gratitude. Thank you so very much for supporting me and watching my videos. Even though I don't do a great job, but I do the best I can with what I got, you know? If you want to check out everything I do and keep up with me in the future, I upload every Wednesday. Go ahead and click the subscribe button down there. And also, if you like the video, just go ahead and give it a like. The algorithm really likes when you do all the things and you click all the buttons, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and I will see you again next week. Peace.